Hello, Goat. You know who it is. Well, you were talking about your favorite dream. That was a rather magnificent dream, by the way. Um, I would like to say that my dream would be somewhat similar in that respect, but there's no flying. A dream without flying, um, flying is one of the best parts of any really awesome dream. But my best dream didn't have flying. It was just that's the only thing that could have made it better. You understand? But it was still pretty epic. I in the dream I was at school, but it wasn't a normal school. It was like a magic school, but not the pansy Harry Potter kind. No, these were like demons and all sorts of scary, evil things as the teachers. It was there were it would be as if a mixture of Oblivion's the Elder Scrolls Oblivion, Realms of Oblivion with all the spikes and everything like that, and some magic circles from other magical games. It was so dark and sinister. And I'm not making this up. That's the funny thing. I'm not having to make it up to match the usual murderous nature of my posts. Most of my dreams don't have this dark and sinister nature, but this one did. This one did have a dark and sinister nature, but it was still a fun dark and sinister nature. I wasn't afraid of any of these dark, sinister things. As a matter of fact, I felt I had some sort of dominion over them. Indeed, indeed. At this school, something during the class that I said about a particular spell, I think that I spoke ill of the teacher's favorite spell and the evil ogre, because she was a big, ugly ogre, literally, with jutting teeth and all sorts of things like that. And she grabbed a paddle and was going to paddle me like you would know. Not a normal paddle, of course. That would be just boring. It had spikes and everything on it, and she was going to paddle me. And then she took me out in the hall and was about to paddle me. I turned around, grabbed the paddle, and blocked it. Broke it. And then did some sort of punch right to her forehead that did some sort of magical, super fast knocked her back and killed her. Of course, later in the dream, I was taken to court for murder because I murdered my teacher. I mean, even in demonic realms, that's a bad thing to do. But I got to court, and they presented the case against me, and then all I said was, "I'm not guilty." And then the judge just had this suddenly droned with this uh, face of losing all control of himself and said, "She's not guilty," and banged his hammer, and I was found not guilty because for some reason at that point in the dream it had become somewhat lucid, and that was pretty awesome, being able to have a lucid dream in such a realm with such magical potentials. uh I teleported up. I stepped in the dream court was this huge circle, similar to the altars of the divines in Oblivion, the center circle thing, except expanded with huge jutting spikes at the end. And this was before I played Oblivion. That's the interesting thing. This is the only way I can describe it, and it was before I actually played the game. It was when I was younger, um, and I and it was like a giant sundial, except it had demonic and evil markings instead of numbers around it. And I went to the center, which had a circular node, and it teleported me pretty much anywhere I wanted to. It was I had full control. of the people around me, of everything. Well, not completely full control, because otherwise it would not have enough conflict. There were people that I killed that I didn't have control of. I probably could have gained control of if I wanted to, but I had the potential for full control of everything, but I allowed myself to lose control of certain aspects so that I would have enough conflict. And I went through slaughtering and killing many things, and then I can't remember much after that. It's sad because as soon as I became aware of my control of the dream, I could feel myself leaving the dream. I could feel myself slowly waking up even as I slaughtered more and more of these people. And then finally, I woke up and I was like, why can't I have that kind of control in real life? Of course, there's a lot of people that would rather me not be able to control their minds. But then again, it would be very interesting for me. So that was my best dream. Not exactly what most people would call a happy dream, because there was murder, maybe? I don't know. I was killing monsters. Even new people who hate my murder can't be too angry at the idea of someone slaying monsters in a fantasy realm. Right? Well, that has been my favorite dream, as promised in an earlier response video. May you have dreams just as violent, but in that good way. Don't want no one, well, no one would really want to have a dream where they are the one being chopped into pieces. Well, it depends on how it's presented. But that's just me. Anyway, that's the end. Not going to drone on. Must not drone on. I'm pushing the stop button. I'm pushing it now. I'm pushing.